Namaste, namaste, beautiful family of light. Baba Sharon here, the Cosmic Center Spiritual Light in Sarasota,
Wow.
Florida, in the United States. Very happy to be here. As you know, we're back doing Facebook Live. We had done that for a long time until they changed the technology, but we figured out how to do it again, and I'm really glad because there are people that are seeing our little cosmic chats and some insights. And we have a couple of people that are engaging and asking questions. So, a beautiful light worker had asked about the solar flares, what's going on with that. And apparently, according to her, there's a lot of chatter on the internet, and, it's just so wide and vast. There's like different pockets and groups that are out there. But one of the things that she has said, there was sort of like this either like, oh my gosh, the apocalypse is upon us, and, for the solar flares and a solar flash, and kind of tinged with a little fear there, all the way to, the earth will be splitting energetically into two different things. So she had asked a little, insight about that. And so I just want to share with you a little bit, about from my, perspective and my understanding of things. I will tell you that Dr. J.J. Hurtak of the Keys of Enoch fame, he's quite an illuminary, and, Enoch, like the scribe Enoch, also connected to Hermes Trismegistus and Thoth. Okay, these are scribes. And you could look up the Keys of Enoch, Dr. Hurtak, it'll tell his whole story, but he has given information that science is just catching up with right now. We do offer that study here at the Cosmic Center Spiritual Light with our beautiful Reverend Kim Converse. She has worked with Dr. Hurtak over 35 years. Some of you know we just came back from Phoenix, Arizona, to the Easter conference that was there, and very powerful. We do work with the names of God. You could say they're mantras. We do mostly Hebrew. Hebrew is one of the five sacred languages, the other being Sanskrit, Tibetan, Egyptian, and Chinese. Basically, meaning is coming from the higher ascended realms to the earth, not orchestrated or coming from this frequency band and the derivatives thereof, coming as close as you could say, as close as we can to the Adamic language. And we are coming from the Adamic seed. This is not us. We're in a little avatar body, or what I call Earth bodysuit. But our true origins, which a lot of people not realizing, they've connected so much to the body that this is who they are. Somebody is sick, you say, well, my body is sick, but you're fine. And what is a whole, I went into this in the past, we're very connected, not in this physical creation where if you do a deep dive and you read the Emerald Tablets and you go into the Gnostic Gospels, and even in the Eastern tradition, they're like, you're bounded here. There's some, and I've talked about a frequency cage that kind of keeps us locked in here. But our true source is what I would say the organic. It is interesting because in years back with the anchoring light, they said the original thought form or the original origin, something to that effect, and that's really comes to be true. Our organic original source, different from this little thing here. So how I could look at it is like we're in a fish tank, right? And there's water, and we have, the, little tropical like flowers and little mountains, and we're in this little world, and we think that's it, and maybe we go up and we come back again and reincarnate and learn lessons, go up and come back again and go up, and then finally you say that, wait a minute now, keep on going up and coming back, keep on going up. What the Buddhists speak of the wheel of rebirth, on and on and on. And at some point in the consciousness of humanity, and maybe there's different epochs of time that this has happened, but I'm just referring to this epoch of time, we say, well, I think there's something more beyond here. Okay, and that is what is called the Great Awakening. And for some people, this happened for myself not too long ago. I did speak about gnosis, Gnosis, which is direct. And I want to say that everybody wants to try to get into that frequency of direct knowing, because if you look into the world, you can't tell what's real from what's not real. Okay, and then also too, if you look at the world now, you can say, well, in our living history, in my living history, okay, in my lifetime, I'm seeing stuff being rewritten, history being written in so many different levels and different ways. I was having a discussion about that with Reverend Robin, just even in the medical and perspectives, and from when we were children and to how things are now are completely different. And said, well, that's not accurate. I don't remember it being that way. Let's not even talk about the Mandela effect, okay, which is glitches in the matrix. But the idea behind this is that if I'm living and experiencing things being what they call gaslighting now, okay, what did they do in the past? Some things don't change. The Roman Empire didn't leave, Babylon didn't leave. They're still here in different ways. And so it begins to get you, as I talked the last time, that you will start to question everything. And now, because we are in this age of Aquarius, all that has been hidden is now coming up to the surface. Now you could just go online and go to the Library of Congress and get information on at home. All right, so things are very different now. You can access information that was not available before. And I would say it's time to um, do your own research, and start trusting your own intuition, tapping into the higher parts of yourself. Some people call it, the higher self, the oversoul, but there's higher parts to who we are outside of this energetic field of a physical, mental, and emotional body. So, what's happening now? Yeah, if you go and scientists are confirming that our electromagnetic field, the shield, okay, that is around our planet from the rays of the sun is getting less. Dr. Hertak did say that years ago that that was going to happen. The electromagnetic field is getting thinner and thinner and thinner. And there is a lot of solar activity now, more than ever. There's been the Schumann resonance has been going off, like craziness they haven't seen before, and these very large bursts of energy coming in. What does that mean? Well, if you're aligning yourself, okay, and doing your spiritual path, you're trying to be a good person, you come from the heart, kindness, understanding, which the foundation of all of that comes into what? Love. That's it, the love. Okay. And walking the path of righteousness is key. I always say, if there was any time to walk that path of righteousness, it would be now, for sure. Because what that does, okay, you're emanating a higher frequency, which is that unconditional love. Okay, the higher heart of compassion and unconditional love. That's a real superpower. That's a superpower. And that superpower, you could say, is what keeps your radiant shield, your armor of God, nice and shiny as you go out into this world. And one of the things that it does is that you're going to be amplified. A lot of us are feeling all kinds of things like the ringing in the air, maybe some heart palpitations. Sometimes you're just like tired, like not just regular tired, but tired, like I can't move tired. Okay. And different things going in our body, physically, mentally, emotionally. Well, we're going from carbon base to crystalline base. All these energetics from the sun are coming in. And it's not just the sun, there's the sun behind the sun that's behind the sun. So all of this stuff is coming into us right now. Okay. But guess what? We signed up for this. I mean, what a time to be alive. This is a really a great epic of time. And all kinds of sentient beings. You have your, UFOs, and not even the UAPs right now. They've been here, done that long time. Okay. But it's like this place is popular. Everybody is like the great show, right? The great show. Like, what's going to happen to planet Earth? And more importantly, what are the children, or what is humanity going to do? And what is the children of light upon the earth who have not forgotten? What are they going to do? Are they going to wake up? Are they going to come into this great enlightenment as they follow consciousness to realize, oh my gosh, I am a spark of light made in the image of the divine. I'm not this. And then you start to look around and go through that rabbit hole and just say, if things are going on this level over here, people have their agendas. There's this whole thing for power, and people still have those lower aspects of envy and revenge. I mean, just low vibe. It's still going on here, by the way. It's not maybe part of our world, light workers, but every now and again I step outside to take a look, and I want to close the door and come back and like, oh my gosh, no, that's out there. That's out there. And so one of the things I would say, that light workers, starseeds, wanderers, they have a new name, chosen ones, whatever you want to call it, that has never felt part of what's going on in this world, is because, as Jesus the Christ said, you're in the world, but you're not of it. And we have to tap into the not of it part to see it from a larger cosmic perspective. So you begin to understand things like what Jesus the Christ has said, and the Buddha. It's like, the Buddhists talk about attachment. Yeah, still attached to the physical things. Are you attached to the food? Are you attached to, yeah, because the body it's kind of strong in its wants. And it takes time to say, okay, let me see if I can transcend, go into the more ethereal, spiritual things. It doesn't necessarily happen like that. It takes some work. But as you do, you begin to understand, like Jesus the Christ said, the path is very narrow. It is narrow. It is narrow. Okay. And it's like a planning. How do we now, rise in our awareness and consciousness and become sovereign and be set free? Now, I remember this quote from Harriet Tubman. This was so powerful when I read her quote. This was some years ago. And Harriet Tubman said, she said, I could have saved a lot, freed a lot more slaves, but they did not know they were slaves. That struck me. That really struck me. And so there are so many in the masses, they don't know, they don't know. Okay. But for those that are kind of awakening or felt they come into this world with a specific mission, and they sense the spiritual path, and they make known the unknown and walk through it, even in spite of challenges and, the miscreations and the distortions, you begin to get that gnosis. You begin to get that direct knowing. You begin to trust your intuition. And so these solar flares that are coming in, if you are on that path, that's going to enhance your spiritual abilities, is going to enhance and accelerate, okay, and turn and put online codes that are within your own DNA. So you say, well, I'm not clairvoyant. Well, you may be now, or you may be clairaudient. Don't be shocked. Like, what's that over there? Okay, so you're going to be, things are going to start to happen rapidly, and don't like, oh, I must be crazy. No, you're not crazy. The world's crazy. That's why we're here. The world is crazy. We're good. We're good. And there's a meme that says, how can you be good in an insane world? How can you say, like, oh, this is good? No, it's not. War is not good. Division is not good. Suffering is not good. None of that is good. Who said that was good? Who created that? And so we're saying, wait, we're beginning to wake up and say things aren't all what they appear to be. So our beautiful solar flares that will be coming and intensifying will have two different effects. One of those that are in the alignment of tapping into their spiritual path, their higher self, they're seeking, you know, developing and holding the heart of love and compassion. Okay, that energy. Or the other side is where choose to be blinded, choose not to go forward, choose to be service to self. It's about me, 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 where you have the other part is service to others. Okay, so maybe there is going to be that energetic, planetary separation. I'm not sure about that, but everything is frequency. So you have a frequency that's vibing up here, and then there's another frequency that's vibing down here. What these solar flares are going to do is make that more intense. That's what's going to be happening with that. And so what we want to do is, and what's really for those of us that are on this path, and we know our own history of people saying you're growing up, you're crazy, or you're the black sheep of the family, or you have to find your courage to move forward in spite of what other people were saying and all of that. You are here now in this moment. Okay, you were prepared to be here in this moment for this great quantum leap into a higher vibration, also known as the ascension. And we are not alone. Our eyes my what 2% of the light spectrum, I don't know, versus the other 98%. What's really going on is in the invisible realms. But as we begin to increase our vibration, as we begin to turn on the codons in our own DNA, we're going to have the ability to open up that third eye, to see the larger picture of what's going on and work in that commission. So for those that are on the path, we want to say yay for the solar flares, and your body is adjusting. You're going to be okay. You're going to have some abilities that are going to turn on. And why is this important? Because for the ones that are not there yet, we hold the frequency for them as well. So it's like a little triggering, like one person wakes up and then the next person wakes up, awaken, 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 awaken. Okay. And then you start to have the whole planetary ascension. And so that's where we are with that. So with that, I want to say namaste to everybody that's on Facebook Live. And just know that if you have an interest in participating in the Anchoring Light Transmission Meditation, we have been doing this for over 18 years. Over 18 years. In fact, July 16th, which is not that far away, will make it 19 years, almost the 20th anniversary. I thought it was going to be like 5 years. Anyway, know that you are welcome. All you would do is go to the Cosmic Center Spiritual Light website and look at our calendar events. You'll see the Anchoring Light Transmission meditation, and just click it. And then once you click it, you just register. You could come on at any time. So with that, I'm going to say namaste to our Facebook Live. And many of you will be getting this not in time, but later on, it's going to come across your feed. Okay, I want to say anytime you hear this, it is at the divinely appointed time for you in the eternal now. Namaste, Facebook Live, Family of Light.